All right, welcome to Sideline Chat. My name is Elle Shack and I'm here as your host for our online trial of a show that's meant to be lighthearted. Sideline Chat. It's casual, it's fun, it's about Ultimate, and it's about meeting players and learning about what's happening in Ultimate all over the world.
I completely blanked out right now.
Sorry, technical difficulty.
Please introduce us.
Hello, I'm Megna's forefinger.
You know, who actually comes to the game to look at you? Have you seen your face? I'm struggling with the political correctness sometimes.
For about 8 years, started basically at the start of uni.
Let's get started. So we're waiting for the co-host here. He's like the spikes to my echidna. I miss him when he's gone. Walking all the way from Ireland. Okay, so we are here to talk about women in Ultimate. It's International Women's Day, and we have 3 strong female people involved with Ultimate. So we have Ráchel from the Czech Republic. Rach, tell us about yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Ráchel, or Ráchel Tošnerová, and I'm from the Czech Republic. I've played Ultimate for about many years, like 16 or so, and I've been involved with my local team, CUSB from Budweis. I played on various national teams, and while traveling I played with Quijotes and Dulcineas in Madrid, with Wood Chicas in Munich, and with a college team in Miami.
Alrighty, excellent. And definitely, unfortunately, I have somewhat a strange, thick accent, which means I'm not going to try to say your name correctly. I'll just stick with Rach. Sorry about that.
It's all good. Oh, and I forgot the Australian team that I played with at Div 2. My bad.
Thank you. That's
I'm trying to remember the name. Jesus.
That's even worse.
I completely blanked out right now because it's live. Oh well.
It was an East Coast team. We can refer to that. So.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
I will remember in a second.
All right. It's not one of the quiz questions, luckily for you. Should have. All right. And Megna, can you just introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I'm Megna. I've been playing for about 10 years. I've played on the women's and the mixed and the masters India national teams for about 5-6 years now. I also lead up the Ultimate Players Association of India. And I think I met my husband through Ultimate. That's another one that I like to throw in there. And it's just become so much of my life right now. So many people ask me, are all your friends Frisbee players? And I say about 90% yes. That's me.
That's right. It's a very nice community. We've got some pretty friendly faces out there. So yeah, once you kind of get involved in Ultimate, it tends to be that you're surrounded with pretty like-minded people who are, very friendly and approachable, which is why it's easy to make friends in the Ultimate community. If you haven't met anyone who's played Ultimate before, once you do, you'll probably meet a whole lot of other people who you know through them as well. Kirsten, don't forget to unmute yourself, darling. She does this every time. It's a family gift we have.
I'm Kirsten. I've been playing Ultimate for about 8 years. Started basically at the start of uni. Played a juniors campaign for Australia and AUFC. Played mixed and single gender nationals just around Australia. And also through uni went on exchange to America and played a heap of college Frisbee over there, all over America. And yeah, same as Megna, probably a big proportion of my friends are Frisbee friends, and yeah, see them a lot, always have fun with them.
Awesome, thanks. And you can probably tell by our very similar draws there that, yes, we are not only both from Perth, but we are cousins, and Kirsten's filled in at the last minute very generously on our long weekend when she should be having relaxing time. She's helping me out as one of our players who was meant to be joining us has had to call in sick, unfortunately. And Lorcan, I've given you a little brief introduction in your absence, but can you tell us a little bit about where you are, where you're from, what you're up to? And he's a blank screen, but enjoy, he's still there.
Yes, I'm here in Bristol. I've been playing Frisbee also for a very long time, and mostly I just like to enjoy it and cheer along and help people celebrate it. I'm very excited to be a part of this, and I'm just going to be here, really just enjoying the show, and like I said earlier, trying to stir the pot a little bit if I get the opportunity to. So I'm looking forward to getting the show on the road.
That's right. And I'm not even going to refer to that pot as possibly having gold in it. Oh,
Too lowbrow for us. We would never go there.
no, never. All right. So International Women's Day. We all know women are awesome. But, Rach, can you tell us what's been happening in terms of women's ultimate in the Czech Republic, and what's been your experiences with your ultimate journey with ultimate, and your experiences both as a female player and a leader as well?
That is a very, very broad question that I could probably hold like a whole day's lecture on. But to start with, at this moment, the fun news in the Czech Ultimate community is that we got a new coach, actually 2 coaches for the women's national team. And even though it's not a national team year, the national team has already had a training camp, and there's several other ones, including tournaments, preparatory tournaments coming up this year, which shows that the coaches do take it seriously and they want to start working with the group early. So that's always nice to see. So that's that regarding Czech Ultimate. Really, we've had the indoor championship last weekend, and that went well because we won. But yeah, so that's about it for the news, I think. So I'm glad that the national team has been put together again and is going to start working early. In terms of women's ultimate in general, well, I started working with my team when I never thought that we would actually make it to the top, at least of the Czech league at any point. But then eventually, as I progressed, I thought of myself, I'm not the best player, but if we have 7 of me, if I can teach everyone what I know, then hopefully we will be able to play better. And turns out that, I learned along the way how to show the people how to work on their talents. And then we ended up with a very nice and complex squad. So it was a great, I would say, we started working together on the women's team in 2011, I think. And it's been an excellent experience. I think many people have had this, working on a team that just, sticks together and makes it through all the horrible losses, and playing with few people and always making sure we have enough for the tournaments, to a squad where we, go to EUCF regularly and try to make it there and play for the top places. The biggest realization for me, I would say, was that women's ultimate is just different to men's. It's just not the same game. Like, some people will tell you, oh, single gender, it's kind of the same as whoever is the fastest and can throw it further wins. And then mixed is where all the, proper fun tactical stuff is happening, where you really have a lot more leeway of how to, prepare the strategy and so on. But I just feel like women's ultimate is very different to men's, and just moving away from only listening or trying to mimic of what the men are doing, and kind of work on your own strengths and own ways of playing the game, can really make a difference. So that kind of did it for me, where I sort of trusted my gut and learned from other women's games and from the way other teams played against us, that allowed us to kind of move away from the general idea of Frisbee, and help us develop our game the way it is now, and that makes it good, or work against the competition at this moment.
Oh wow, that sounds some good insight there. And yeah, definitely. There's quite a lot of just big throws in men's ultimate, but yeah, having watched a little bit of your games through the ULTI.TV streaming over the last couple of years, where we haven't been able to travel much ourselves. Yeah, it's been good to see. Definitely a lot of quick, shorter passes, different plays as well coming in with that. Chika, how about yourself? You haven't played too much this year, working away?
Yeah, that's right. I haven't played much Frisbee for the last couple of years. I actually started a job working away and kind of focusing on that, but still have heaps of friends that play. And they're all really looking forward to, hopefully, fingers crossed, our nationals going ahead this year. I think a couple of years maybe they haven't been able to head over east and compete against really any other competitive teams. I'm from Perth, so a fair way away from a lot of other Frisbee teams. So we always cherish going and playing other competitive teams, and we haven't been able to do that the last few years. So hopefully this year they'll get to go over there and see how they match up against all the over east.
That's right. And over east, over here is dealing with a lot of bad weather. It's going to be very refreshed with the rain, but it could be quite a soggy affair. And ULTI.TV again going to be streaming those national games as well. If you want to watch over there, guys, feel free to tune into the Australian Ultimate Championships coming up. Megna, how about yourself? Obviously in a kind of also a player, but leadership position there.
Yeah, I really liked listening to Ráchel and Kirsten's answer. Just a lot more context. India is a predominantly mixed playing country, and it's also a young playing country. So I think our ultimate journey started in 2013, and we only played mixed up until 2016, where we had the first women's team at WUGC. But women's was never part of our sectional, regional, national program until 2019, which is when we introduced single gender. And I think it was an overwhelming success. Loads of women just love playing with each other. We are all preparing for single gender regionals finally once more next month. So it's in April 2022. It's early April 2022. We had our first playoff today, and it was just great fun to have that many women in. But I think from a leadership position, something that the last president or the last executive board did really well was to just say that some of these decisions needs to be made top down. So when I started playing Ultimate in India, almost around the time that Ultimate kind of started here, we used to play 6-1 because there just wasn't enough women to make teams. And then we quickly mandated 5-2. And then today it's 3-4, 4-3, alternating gender with alternating pool rules. So I think it's been exciting change. I've seen a lot of women players who probably never had to pull or never play deep or kind of call lines, kind of doing that for the first times. And I think I'm so happy to see that, because I know that going forward everybody's going to take that for granted, like they should. And from an executive board or the committee structure of UPI, we have well, it's not a rule, but it's definitely an advice or a suggestion. We try to go with 50-50. So our board will always have 2 female athletes and 2 male athletes. And that's true for all our committees. So we have like an SOTG committee, communications committee, competitions committee, development committee. All of them have co-chairs. So there's at least 1 woman in a position of leadership. And the next big thing I think for India is to develop a top female head coach. I think we're not doing so well there in terms of gender prep. So yeah, that's that.
Awesome. That sounds really exciting. Anyone else want to throw anything in from what any other of you have said? Right.
I'd just like to.
Go ahead, Lorcán.
Well, I was actually just wanting to ask you a little bit about how that kind of, I suppose, the term like in politics, like gender quotas in the leadership positions. I haven't really heard of that happening in too many other places, and the motivation is obviously to try and elevate as many women as possible, which is absolutely fantastic. But would you have any advice on how you can find so many interested parties, and what's a great way to get young women, because you said as well in India, it's young as well, these young women engaged in the development of Ultimate as a whole, as well as just the sport?
Yeah, great question. I think we had a lot of debate as to whether we want to do it that way, whether it's too top down, whether it is more stick than carrot. And we decided that at any point in time, for someone in a position of leadership to amass the kind of experience, exposure, and opportunity that a man has access to otherwise, is just going to get difficult to bridge every year on out. And when I say that today, if I have to meritocratically pick a coach for the national team, it's going to be a dude, just because there have been guy coaches for the last 6-7 years when India's managed to put together a national team. So then how do we kind of plug that gap? And I think the same gap kind of comes from a leadership standpoint. And then when you have a woman making some of these decisions, there's immediately the question of, okay, for the next national team campaign, is there going to be at least one female assistant coach? Because if we don't get that going, how does the pipeline look? Or there are women who are able to say that it's not mandated as yet for us to, kind of have the reverse pull. If you're playing 4-3, we need to start pulling, but why don't we start doing it right away? Like, why wait for someone else to mandate it when it's a good idea? Or we've had some of our women leaders kind of come out and say, okay, this is great, but in India, we haven't yet done an outreach for an LGBTQ plus athlete when it comes to ultimate frisbee. And they've kind of set up their own tiny program to kind of say that, yeah, we have all of these hormone requirements to compete, but we just want to come and show you the sport and, kind of see if you like the sport. So when we took that call, I think we went with the co-chair module or model. So we would have someone who was male plus had held a leadership position before, who could kind of coach and mentor the incoming female talent. And it's been now 4 years since. And today, I think there are more qualified female managerial ultimate frisbee athletes than male. So it's been a success here, and I'm also putting it out there. So if somebody thinks that it hasn't worked for some reason, I would, kind of really been keen to hear why. But I think so far it's perceived as, I think, something which was resoundingly successful.
Wow. Lorcán, does that give you something to work with there?
It's an absolutely fantastic insight. And it's very interesting to hear about how you can be this proactive about designing your structure for ultimate, because a lot of the times, in my experience, it was tough to get people in, and we weren't coming from the top down, we were coming from the bottom up. And it's always refreshing to hear anyways, especially when they sound like they've been successful as they have been.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think on that point, I love the mentor of someone else in there, because I think particularly my experience is burnout is really common for people in Australia who get involved at ultimate generally at a uni age and then get really involved for the 5-6 years they're at uni, then reach the end of uni and go, okay, that was a past life, I'll move on now. And that obviously doesn't breed the greatest kind of consistency, and you end up getting people in positions for 2 years to kind of max before they tap out. So if we can really support people to stay in positions for longer, I think that helps a lot with the longevity of the sport.
Maybe I have about like 3 points to kind of tie this all together. First one being, it's funny with these leadership positions when we're talking about managerial involvement, because I do have a feeling like I know so many women who are involved in that just because we're just good at organizing things, and we sort of like to have it all proper and done and planned. So we've had Czech Ultimate Association directors being female for a very long time, really. I think, guys have done it less. But it's more true for the coaching positions, and I think it could definitely work there to gain some experience as an assistant coach, just to have that kind of background. So that was the one point I wanted to address. Second one was the polls. We've had a huge discussion in the Czech Republic. It has not been adopted. Our club has adopted it just to set an example, try to bring other teams to do it. It's very funny how long the discussion was. Like I had it over the chat with my team. I had it with my boyfriend at home, and it was just, oh my God, I lost an entire work day because I was just going back and forth with them, giving arguments. So that one is a huge one, I think. Just even having to have these discussions just annoys me so much. So that has not been put in place in the Czech Republic yet, but my team's doing it. Actually, at the mixed indoor championship, I kind of forgot about that rule and kept pulling the whole final. So that's number 2. Sorry, Lorcán, I'll give you the word straight away. And then the third one, as Kirsten was saying, with the involvement and keeping the people sort of in touch with Ultimate. Another point I've been thinking about recently that you might want to comment on is just how, like, you realize how you have a good team, you have a really good team, and then you're going on for some time, and then you struggle with everything the good teams eventually struggle with. So injuries, people losing motivation, people having to do, getting a job and stuff like that. And then I'm at an age where a lot of the women around me obviously have families as well. And I just think that's just another point that women's teams struggle with, that makes it so much more difficult to maintain a high level elite team, where we just have to have the babies at some point if we want to, and like if 2 of your top players of your team have the baby, then you've lost 1 season if you're lucky. And it's just, we're dealing with all the same problems as the guys have. So lack of motivation, injuries, etc. But also, how, like, you have a much more limited time, I feel like. So that's just something that has been in my head, just like, how annoying. You work so hard on something and then it kind of breaks down, and it's not your fault, and it's like the natural course of life. Sorry, Lorcán, go ahead. Now I kind of ruined the moment, I'm sure, but anyway.
No, you raised some very interesting points about certainly other reasons I've heard from people why it's so difficult to establish that through line or to keep going, because you have to constantly bring in new talent, you have to bring in new enthusiasm and motivation. That's why I was so interested in what Megna was talking about. Sorry, Megna was talking about, with how they try to move people into those positions as soon as possible and try to like go from the top down. It's a really interesting way of, I suppose, trying to protect yourself and build up that new wave you can take over, because real life gets in the way. A lot of people start reaching the end of their 20s and they go, oh, there are things other than Ultimate. Or, you leave college and you're like, oh yeah, there's so much more I need to actually do with my life to be a fully functioning human being. Just a quick early attempt at stirring the pot. What is your least favorite argument against gender pulling that you were hearing in the Czech Republic, Ráchel?
It's surprising that, at least in my club team, the men are super supportive. So I was practicing pulls today, and mine weren't reaching the opposite back line of the end zone, and the guys were consistently pulling it, kind of well beyond. And I look at one of my male teammates, and then I say, am I just not strong enough? And that's the worst argument, right? And I'm myself to blame, because he looks at me and he says, please don't say that. It's all about form and you are strong enough. And so that was my least favorite argument, which kind of came out of my own mouth, kind of out of frustration about getting the distance.
Well, baby, I'm going to say something controversial about Megna. You are not strong enough. You will never be as strong as a man. Like, you could be stronger than someone, but you're probably not going to be stronger than all men. And I think it's fine. It's like, you're not trying to compete against them. They're going to have another girl on the other side that needs to pull as well. And, that's just like, I think my least favorite one was that the fans will get bored and that it's more fun for the fans to watch the guys pull. And I was just like, who actually comes to the game to look at you? Have you seen your face? Like, they're coming because of this, not like, I'm probably gonna, like, I'm struggling with the political correctness sometimes, and I bring it to I bring it to work for me when I need to, but it's just I think the only argument that we need is that it's fair. It's just fair, and there's nothing else to talk about really. Like, it's and then that everyone will enjoy the point less because it will be shorter. I'm like, have you not seen any world class games where the pull was just half a field pull and still the defending team got the disc and scored the point? Like, what is, like, I just
a good
think
pull is a good pull. It doesn't matter. It doesn't look any more attractive if a man does it. Certainly, probably less, I'd say. One of our best players in WA is our female Anna Haynes, who's our national events manager for Australia. And she would, on her team, do the pull whenever she plays with us. She's great pull, gets the length. No issue with the long tuck either.
Yeah, even if it was the worst pull in the world, it's like, it's just fair. Like, it's a mixed game. So, I just think it's fair.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to pause our chat. We'll see. I scheduled it for 45 minutes. So I'm just going to see what happens. All right. So
meeting is being recorded.
We're now up to our quiz section, and allow me to just share my screen so the participants and possibly you playing along at home can also see the wonder that is my pretty low budget PowerPoint. Again, shout out to those who have any technical skill. If you would like to help me out with any of this kind of tech stuff, feel free to volunteer. You can contact me via ULTI.TV because it is very high school production quality, if not primary. It's not great at all. Welcome, International Women's Day 2022. This is Sideline Chat. Let's play the quiz. All right, you've got the smart stuff, baby. Format: 6 quick questions, 1 bonus challenge task. Yeah, check out that sweet animation. All right, where are these famous sisters from? So our contestants, choose it, lock in your answer, and then reveal in a moment. Brazil, Venezuela, Colombia, or Spain? You got a few seconds. Lorcan, provide the thinking music, if you will.
Bronzer.
That was better than expected. We obviously have not planned that. All right, can you reveal your answers, please? We've got CC and Megna. Yes, 100%. All right, that's 1-1. I'm recording the score. Next question. Who invited the Irish women's ultimate team to lunch in 2019? Was it A, Bono, B, the Prime Minister, C, Richard Branson, or D, Sinead O'Connor? And apologies if I've misspelt anything. I also didn't spell check.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna guess.
To you.
I don't think we have the rights for any music. We'll pretend that never happened. All right. And we have Megna with B. Kirsten's gone Sinead O'Connor. It is B, the Prime Minister. Lorcan, tell us about that.
Yes, in 2019, as a celebration of the wonderful achievement that the Irish team had, our Prime Minister, Michael Deans, who is effectively a professional elf. He is one of 2, I believe, formerly creative people who became a leader. 3 if you encounter Zelensky of Ukraine. So the Czech Republic had a playwright and he was a poet, and they're like the only 3 European leaders who came creative backgrounds.
A little fun fact thrown in there as well about the political powers. All right, question number 3. Which European team finished first in the women's division at the European Ultimate Federation Championships that was held in Italy? Was it YAKA, Fabulous, or the team from Sweden, Lorcan, hit it with that music. I'm hearing it in my head. Is anyone else hearing it? No. Okay, answers, please. All right, we've got YAKA, we've got B. All right, Kirsten, unfortunately, she was the last minute fill-in. She's been a legend, but you are incorrect. It was YAKA. All right, 3-0 to Megna and Rach, and Kirsten, you've still got a respectable 1 out of 3. That's keep going, girl. All right, question 4. How many different pairs of glasses have I worn during this show? Now we're going to see who was paying attention. Was it 1, 2, 3, or 4? All right, answers locked in, please. It was 4. You were all wrong. That's right. I was sneaky. Yeah, mind blowing. All right, this coming logo.
Wait, were they the same ones though?
No, they're all different. They're all different pairs. I haven't just gone like this and counted that.
Okay.
They're completely different colors. Look.
So, what? I saw blue this entire time.
Unbelievable. This logo coming up on the screen is from, well, easy now, spoiler alert. It's from a women's team in Australia, as in a national team. What is the name of the team? So this is a 2-point part. You might need to write down it and I'll just get you to say your answers. And which division do they play in? All right. And by division, I mean the age range. All right, here comes the logo. That blue circle is not normally part of the logo. That's been added to hide the name of the team, which is unfortunately in the picture. I'll give you a few minutes with that.
I play
You mean to
Australian.
Google the answer? Is that why we have the 2 minutes?
No, honor system, no Googling. They're asking you.
How is 2 minutes gonna help me, Elle?
This is
Phone a
Kirsten's
friend.
chance
Let
for
me
a
call
comeback.
Dan Rule.
I think Googling it, if you're actually able to Google it, you should be able to use the answer.
All right, well, you've already lost time. I have been including this chat as part of the 2 minutes.
Can we have a hint?
That is meant to be an Australian animal. And the name of the animal is the name of the team. Your hint, Kirsten, is that you know someone who's played on that team. Several people, probably. This was your chance. I thought you might have had. I didn't even plan to rig this. This is just a happy coincidence for Kirsten, but it's obviously not because she doesn't know. All right, with the age, I will give it either under 18, under 24, adult, or masters. I'll give you the 4 options with that. So now it's similar to a multiple choice. Lorcan, I don't know if you know this answer yourself.
I am not being asked the question, so I don't have to reveal the depths of my...
Can you Google the answer for the division for me? Because now I'm doubting myself. Because Kirsten doesn't know. All right, your time is up. Your time is up, people. It was, of course, Flying Foxes.
Flying Fox.
Oh, yes. Kirsten, did you get it?
Flying Fox, and it's a juniors team.
Oh, that's definitely not right. So that's not the 2 points. Rachel, did you get any team? What does that say? Under 20? No, it's not under 24s either. All right, Kirsten, want to pick the division? Oh, you're on mute again. Classic Chica.
I believe it's Masters.
She believes correctly. All right, you needed that desperate point. All right, so it's now 4 to Megna, 3 to Rachel, 2 to Kirsten. It's anyone's game still. Don't pretend you wrote Masters. Oh, she did this, but unfortunately you locked it in correctly. All right, and next we have question 6. Again, write down the answer. Why is women's ultimate great? You can probably all get a point. Looking, hit it with that sweet, sweet theme music for the thinking time. We think Lorcán is possibly asleep because I didn't do the right time calculation. Instead, sneak preview of what's coming up for these guys. All right, nothing to see here. And then 10, 9, 8, and 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stall. Imagine if that's how they did the stall count. All right. Less smelly socks from Rachel. I'm happy with that answer. Megna, if you go to say your answer, don't forget to unmute. Yep, what did you have?
I had two. One, I mean, it's women's ultimate or men's ultimate. I just said because ultimate in itself is great. But I also had also less testosterone. Always helps.
Less testosterone. All right, Chica.
I said it connects, challenges, and unites women from all different walks of life.
Oh, snap. I think I'm going to have to give that a bonus point. She needed that desperately.
Teachers spat, family cheating. Lorcán, step in. Lorcán's gone. He's gone. Oh, what? Oh, here he is. Now he comes. Where were you before when I needed the theme shown?
Collusion
Right.
is very allowed in game record.
Yeah. Sideline chat. We've got the hustle. All right. Next question. Oh, check out that animation. Again, we are looking for volunteers with technical skill. It's challenge time. You got to make a puppet. The puppet's got to introduce yourself, so it needs a name and a voice different to yours. Here was my example again. Hello, my name is Frederick. You've got 45 seconds. Lorcán, give me some sweet chat while we're waiting for these ones to make a puppet.
Indeed. Somewhere on a Sunday.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, technical difficulty. What is?
All right.
Well, someone's back early.
Say, what's the play you've ever seen?
What's the what?
Oh, someone done already. What's the most impressive play you've ever seen in?
Oh, that
a women's
greatest
game
that we
of
saw.
ultimate
Oh,
women?
I was going for the next one we saw at Royale when it was a double greatest. That was great. Women's ultimate. I've just seen some really good. Like I love a good leg block or foot block because I forget that you can do that, and so every time I see one, I'm like, oh, so unexpected because I forget you can block it with anything. All right, your time. Oh, thank you. Oh, I didn't even know he'd set timer for me. Thank you very much. All right, Rachel, tools down. Megna, you were first. Please introduce us.
Hello, I'm Megna's forefinger, but you need to check out her forehand.
So good. Better than expected. All right. Kirsten. Oh, you muted yourself again. Classic kid. I'm still going about that finger. All right, come on, here we go.
Hello. This is
Voice is very similar to your own.
Michael's a muted light cover.
All right. Great job. All right, Rach, bring it home, something strong.
This is a disaster. I don't even want to go after you. I was trying to do something with Marcus the Mitten, but he's failed because he had too much testosterone.
Classic
So
Marcus.
I got Donna the duck. And if she looks like a male duck, don't be mistaken because she's Donna the duck.
Not so much making the puppet there, but good hustle to get something on the board. All right, I'm going to give.
Not even at home. I'm at a rental apartment. I don't know where stuff is.
Unfair advantage, home court advantage for the other two there. I feel Megna's delivery it captivated me. I actually have tears in my eyes from laughter. It was so sweet. All right, that brings us to the end of the show. This is the pilot version, the super professional one. It'll be a workshop, and as I said, any volunteers with skill, please get in touch with ULTI.TV. They'll pass you on to us. And we are, of course, looking on the lookout for guests. I promise that we'll schedule the meeting time and I will actually work out when it's going to be the right time for me and not 2 hours early. So thank you so much, Megna from India, so much for tuning in. I had a mental blank. I'm still thinking about that puppet. I can't get it out of my head. Right? From the Czech Republic, and Kirsten, last minute filling legend from the hometown Perth crew. I've been Elle Shack, joined by my wonderful co-host who was enjoying a nice relaxing break because he still had 2 hours before the show. Lorcán, thank you so much for joining us again. And yeah, we'll try to do another one of these. As I said, it's only going to get better with time. Oh, and the love heart's rolling in. Happy International Women's Day, everybody.
Happy Women's Day, Elle. Thank you for being such a sweet host. Thanks, Lorcán.
Right, bye.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody, bye-bye.